Hi there, I'm Guitar Hero 1885. In this video we're going to take a look at Total Recall for the Atari ST. Game based on the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where he is in a futuristic world and he's received a memory implant which basically messes up his mind, and he ends up in a lot of trouble from the authorities in that time. The game it's a 16-bit console computer that this is on. It's made by Ocean Software, I believe. It seems I've had a few shots of it, and it's like all the Atari games, the retro Atari games. It's difficult, but it's not without its own charm. It's a tough game, but it's worth a look. It's an interesting time in video games. The licensing and everything that was going on back in the day, making licensed games from movies. It was also romanticised at the time with the box art and just the idea of playing movie characters in a computer game. A lot of the times it was poorly executed, but this isn't too bad. I'll show you the box. Comes in this box. Got Arnie on it. Fully licensed. He's on the back as well. Arnie's made quite a few computer games in his time on various different systems. Not made them himself, but he's been in them, you know. Terminator and whatnot. So anyway, the objective of this game is you can shoot, but you have to crouch to shoot, I believe. And these, you've got you can combat your enemies without a weapon. You can unarmed combat. They keep respawning all the time every time you go through an area. So the object of the game is to avoid these guys, get through the level, collecting various items that you require in order to progress through the game. These three items here are what we're wanting to collect. One is a passport, one is, I think it's ammunition, but it's just these three. That's your weapon there. These three: passport, briefcase, and documentation or something. So to some extent, it follows the movie. So these items are located throughout the level, and there's the passport, but we're going to need to find another way to get there. So you jump by using up on the joystick. To shoot, what you need to do. Oh yeah. You've got these wee elevators that you control by pressing up or down when you're on them. To shoot, you have to press forward or just crouch, and he automatically shoots and crouch, but you have to be holding forward to shoot, which makes sense. It was a bit weird on the first time I tried the game, but it makes sense. Fortunately and mercifully, we have an energy bar in this game, so it's not one hit, one death, which is, oh, we don't have any bullets left, which is really useful considering the game is ridiculously hard and the enemies keep respawning. Here we go, we've got more bullets. The manual does advise that you should conserve your energy. So yeah, I'm quite impressed with this game. For the time, it's alright. It's not unlike a Super Nintendo, or slightly less polished than a Super Nintendo game. Roughly around the sort of graphics you get on the Genesis. Why on earth they respawn the enemies constantly, I will never know. They say there's sawed-all bullets, so yeah, let's respawn the enemies constantly. That's a good idea. that'll make it impossible to complete. So, you know, what else are we trying to do here? Unfortunately, that seems to have been their thinking, but the designer's thinking. I'm too harsh on it, just because I'm crap at games, you know, I complain, so there you go. One of these is a tracker, which you can actually find a tracker in the game, which acts like a GPS, sort of like in like Die Hard Trilogy for PS1, or later games such as Grand Theft Auto 3, you know, Vice City, etc., where it kind of shows you where to go on a wee map. This just gives you an arrow to show you where you need to go when you do find the tracker, which I haven't found yet, but hopefully will. To be fair, this is the best I've ever played this game, but I'm going to give this game a 3 star. There are other enemies, and it is fairly difficult. There we go, beat. And it's no continues, game over, that's it when you die. So yeah, rock solid, give it 3 stars. Oh, you've got continues. I think you started again at the beginning though. I think yes, we'll continue. So I definitely give it 3 stars anyway. Graphics are pretty good, it's worth a look. If you've got the system, it's definitely worth a look. And vast amount of software for the Atari ST. Definitely worth a play. Definitely a good retro machine. I've said that before in other videos, I'll say it again. There's actually music in this game as well, which is nice. That makes all the difference. I think you have to press down to pick up things. So yeah, back at the beginning, back at the very start of the game, it helps to avoid enemies, I would suggest, but just keep out their way, totally out the road. Avoid conflict at all costs. So yeah, 3 stars. Good to look at, good to play, good to look back on, nostalgia value. Would have loved to have played it at the time. The sort of thing that retro games, you know, it's a part of retro gaming that I really like is the licensed titles, from the 80s action stars, and just the character of it all. It's nostalgia stuff in it. It's just cracking. Very interesting to me. Thanks for watching. There's other videos on my channel if you're interested along the same lines. Peace out and have a good one.